Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
What up, my people? Back in the DBDS Live studio. We in the building today. We got a crazy dynamic show. I'm here with my man Mel Money. Hit him up, Mel Money.
Hey, what's going on, my peoples? We got an exciting show for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you guys are stay safe out there. You know what I'm saying? So before we get started, I'd just like to tell you what DBDS is all about. We promote thoughtful relationship topics on social media, our live show, and other outlets to help people to become a better version of themselves. We want people to embrace respect, love, and loyalty and have healthy relationships. And in doing so, you have to change how you are, but never change who you are. And a better version of you creates a healthier relationship. Healthier relationship creates healthier families, and healthier families create healthier communities. So let's get this show on the road.
All right, y'all. This show is men who are effective leaders in their relationship. So check this out.
What up?
Today, I got about 16 million people who are my audience. You know how I get 16 million? Because there's about 16 million black men in America today. All right, so I got 16 million people I'm talking to. And so here's the thing. If you claim to be a leader, that's not enough. It's not enough, you know. You got to be effective, okay? Because we've seen leaders who are not effective, and you see the results of that, right? So this means you must arm yourself with the right traits. Arm, A-R-M, right? So that means you got to be accountable, all right? And own the outcome of your leadership, all right? R, you got to get results. You know, you can't just be sitting on the couch talking about you a leader, sitting in the background talking about your leader, right? You got to get results, man. You got to get the job done, right?
Exactly.
And M, you got to model leadership traits. People are watching you. You know, if you're a leader, you got to be a model. People are watching and will learn from you, all right? So be a good role model. Now, we're going to bring in our guests, man. We got some amazing guests that we got on the show today. All right. First, I'm going to bring in my girl, Nita, coming out of Missouri. What's up, Nita? Welcome to DBDS Live.
Hey, what's up, guys? Mo, Jamil, thank you.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, Nita.
Glad to have you here. Welcome to DBDS Live, Nita. Listen, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So, I am from the Show Me State, originally born and raised in Missouri. Currently, I reside in St. Charles, Missouri. I have 2 children. I'm a mom of 2, a 22-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son and 1 fur baby. I have over 20 years of experience in the legal industry. And I also hold a degree in interior design. And right now, I currently work for a local university. And I'm in the business and facilities department there. One thing I would say about me is that I am definitely a believer in positivity, self-development, encouraging and inspiring words. That's pretty much my motto. That's what I live by. I also have a business that I'm working on and developing that involves real estate investments. And I also love to share and encourage people to become a member of a plant-based, eco-friendly shopping club. In that shopping club, there's over 400 products, and the focus is on health and wellness, which is really, really critical in today's society. So if you want more information about that, please feel free, hit me up. You can send me a direct message, and I'll be happy to share that with you.
Nice.
And I just want to say thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Can't wait to discuss today's topic, and thank you so much.
Glad to have you here. I told y'all I wasn't playing with y'all. Matter of fact, I told her to cut her resume short. She didn't finish, man. That's just half of the resume right
Just
there.
half.
You know what I'm saying? Told y'all I wasn't playing with y'all.
Love it though.
All right, we're gonna bring in my girl Merieta out of CT in Connecticut's in the building. What's up, Merieta?
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Welcome to DBDS Live. Tell the
Thank
people
you for
a little bit
having
about
me.
yourself.
Hey, so I'm Merieta Bayati. I go by Merieta B. I can have an extensive resume too, but I'm going to keep it shorter because I know, yeah. So I call myself a serial entrepreneur and a motivational artist. Why motivational artist? Because I motivate and inspire people through not only speaking, but through song and through writing as well. I am very passionate about uplifting and inspiring mostly young women. Of course, the men need uplifting and inspiring too, but a lot of young women need a positive example and role model to look up to, which we're going to get into about leadership later. I'm a freelance photographer. I have the Urban Collective, which is an event in business collaborative space in New Haven, Connecticut. So yeah, I do multiple things, but definitely passionate about uplifting, inspiring others to be their best selves.
Absolutely, and
Love it.
that's what DVDS is all about. You know what? And that's why we're doing this, Marita. You know we got the men. We're gonna help the men out. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got
Of
them.
course.
That's why we're here today. We about to drop some knowledge that's gonna help a few brothers out today. All right, Mel Money, kick us off, brother.
Yeah, so we have this section called the anonymous post section that goes into our group and is based on people that are having, tough terrains in their relationship, and they look for positive people to help elevate their level of success. So it reads, I don't feel appreciated at all, and I feel that my girlfriend takes me for granted. Here's why. I literally don't go around her family because they think I'm funny acting, even though I am an introvert, and they talk negative about me, yet she doesn't defend me. Her family has disrespected our relationship more than a few occasions. For example, her brother tried to hook her up with one of his friends, yet she explained to me that she would never talk to him. She has broken boundaries by cheating on me numerous times, and our sex life is non existent, mainly because I'm an intellectual lover, one who likes to be connected mentally, so the physical portion will be spicier. I can honestly say, despite everything that happened, and we've only been together for 6 months, I truly love my girlfriend. I'm also willing to give up my dream of being a pro boxer because she feels it's a dangerous sport, just to be with her and to show her that I am the right man for her. The man she cheated on me with doesn't have a job, run the streets, and doesn't respect her. I truly believe that she never came across a good man and doesn't know what she has in front of her. I take care of her financially. I do whatever she asks to do with no hesitation. I know I'm the right man for her. What can I do to help save our relationship and to have her put in effort as much as I'm putting in effort?
All right, sound like we got a 911 call. We got a serious situation here.
Wow.
This
Yeah.
brother needs some help. All right,
Mhm.
I'm about to listen. I'm about to make a call. I'm about to dialing up Marita right now. Marita, we need some help up in this.
Oh my God.
Help my brother out. Help my brother out.
That is definitely an unbalanced relationship. And I must say, our women have to do a much better job at supporting a good man when they have one. No, he might not be as social with her family. And, some people are introverts and they're just like that. But I think it's her duty, if she knows what type of man she's with, she does need to defend and protect her man against her family. Like, she should not even allow anyone to come to her, like her cousin or whoever, to hook her up potentially with somebody else. But that just goes to show me that she doesn't respect him around her family. She's allowing certain things. She's not holding him up to the standard that he needs to be held. And honestly, I say, I don't care how long they've been together. Listen, you may need to find you somebody else that will appreciate you. But the thing is, though, have a conversation with her, because communication is always key. I always say this: have you let them know how you felt? Have you let her know how you felt? Like, lay it all out on the table. Have an open and honest conversation about everything. And if she's not on board and you don't see changes after that, I say let her go and find someone that really will appreciate and respect you, because there are women out here that will, and you deserve better. Just like I would say this to a woman, regarding a man, if she was dealing with this, you deserve better.
Right there.
Nice.
There it is. Told y'all, man, we don't play, man. We come straight at you. Now I'm coming up, girl, Nita. Nita, help this brother out.
Wow. I mean, there was like so many red flags flying around when you read that. I was like, oh my goodness. Like red flags everywhere. But I agree with what Merieta said. I mean, one thing for sure is he needs to first, I think, evaluate and just take a hard look at the entire situation and how it's making him feel. And like she said, also about communicating, that would be a great first step, just to have an open conversation, honest conversation with her, letting her know exactly how he feels.
Mhm.
But from what I heard, there were so many things that seemed toxic and just a lot of negatives. Especially in just 6 months. I mean, that's a lot to have going on in a short period of time. I honestly think, first he should have the conversation with her, but also just kind of look and prepare himself and start to, evaluate and say, should I even try to salvage this relationship? Is it worth it? I mean, the way
Right.
that I have to sacrifice and even, sacrificing and giving up, even considering giving up a dream of boxing and all of that, those aren't good signs. And so I think the first thing he should do is communicate. And then the next thing he should do is definitely do a self-evaluation and a self-check, because like Merieta said, he deserves much better than that.
Absolutely, man. Good insight. Listen, Mel Money. Before you respond, brother, Rondell says she don't respect him. My question
Mhm.
is, has she been talking bad about him around other people? He needs to reevaluate the relationship, man. What's your thoughts on that before you respond on the situation?
Well, I agree. The thing is that when you with someone, your significant other, they supposed to defend you not just physically but verbally as well. And I feel that the dynamic relationship wise is not well balanced. And to the anonymous poster, he will need to take some accountability simply because he allowed his girlfriend to treat him like a second class citizen. And when I mention balance, I'm referring to mutual respect within a relationship, effective communication, like Marita stated, and love and feedback verbally and non-verbally to the messenger on a consistent basis. I feel like the reality is that if you have to lose yourself to keep someone else happy, you're definitely in a wrong relationship. Because a strong, healthy relationship understand their roles and they work together as a team, not against each other. And when the brother mentioned, I mean, the thing that I read about the letter, he mentioned that she cheated on him numerous times and he accepted this behavior. It shows that he lacked fortitude to stand up for himself. And when you don't stand up for yourself, it shows a woman that you lack leadership skills because you're not taking any action to put a cease to this disrespectful behavior. In fact, I would say inaction enables this behavior. And certain people need to realize that I feel love and respect are not parallel with each other. In other words, you must have the respect in the relationship for that person to truly love you. And for any relationship to truly work in a healthy manner, both people have to go in with the mindset to give. And it sounds like to me, she's only taken. And when you have one who is selfless and one who is selfish, it will create self-hate as well as a dysfunctional relationship. So this brother needs to seek therapy and reevaluate the relationship as Nita stated right away and do it pronto.
Absolutely, man. Before
Yeah.
we get into our show, listen, the thing I heard, man, listen, all I heard was I heard somebody who was just whining and crying. I got to tell you, brother, I heard a lot of whining and crying. This is from the male perspective. The
Mm,
thing is, here's the thing you got to realize is one basis that you probably want to live your life by, and that's this: people can't do things to you unless you allow it. You
Right.
gotta
right.
allow it. All right. Once you allow it, that's when people can do things to you. So just remember that, brother, going forward. Hopefully that helped you out. We got you a little bit of insight. We about to run into our show. We got my
Wait,
girl Marita got
wait.
a little
Can I
insight.
just
Bust
can
it,
I just say
Marita.
one thing real quick?
Bust it. Hit him.
He has to know his worth. That's maybe he doesn't
Mm,
feel like he's worthy, and that's with anything. Like, you have to respect yourself and love yourself enough and know your own worth. And if you don't know your worth, you will allow anyone to run all over you and disrespect you. And also, women know the type of men that they can run over. So
mm.
she saw him coming a mile away, probably was like, oh, you know what? Of course he's gonna pay my bills and take care of me and do whatever. I can just use him any way, old way I want to. And you got women that think like that. So she saw it, and people can see that on you when they're like, okay, yeah, he's a pushover. That's easy. So she's taking advantage of that, and so he needs to know his self-worth and move on. So
Absolutely. I mean,
Yes.
know your self-worth, man.
that's that's such good insight because you know what, men and women do that. I mean, we when you come in the club, man, you come in the club, you got that shark sense, right?
Mhm.
You sniffing. Oh, weakness over in that corner of the
No.
room. That's where I'm going, right? So yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot, Marita, for that insight. Mel Money,
Yeah.
what you got, brother?
Yeah, I just want to inject. I agree with everything Marita stated. I mean, the brother is about to give up pro boxing. I mean, I mean, brother, man. I think classy women love a man that's ambitious and self-disciplined and self-motivated, but he's about to give it all away.
Right.
Oh, brother, man,
Mm-mm.
that hurts just to say that, man.
Yeah.
That's like us giving up DBDS to do. You know what I'm saying? You should never ever give up what you're so passionate about for anyone.
Mm-mm.
In fact, the person that you're with will encourage you to continue to be that. If that's the
Amen.
right woman,
Amen.
she'll be like, keep on boxing, keep on getting better physically and mentally. But
Yep.
to throw that all away, that was a huge red flag.
Yeah, your main purpose. If you throw away your main purpose, man, I don't know. I don't know what you're around for. You just paying bills or somebody bills or something. I'm not sure. All right, y'all. We about to jump right into our show today. We are talking about men who are effective leaders in their relationships. We're gonna jump into our first topic. We want to talk a little bit about men who are effective in leaders in their relationships need to be in control, but not controlling. All right, there's
Yes.
two different things, man. Let me size this up for you. All right, don't confuse leadership with dominance. Those are two different things. All right. When you're
Right.
dominant, people follow you because maybe you've intimidated them. They're probably scared of you. Maybe you made it known that listen, I run this ship with an iron fist, right? But people follow leaders because they choose to follow leaders,
Mm,
and that's what you want. Okay. There's not. I don't think there's a woman out there who's looking for somebody who is a dominant person who wants to dominate them. Well, they may be out there, but what I'm going to tell you is it's not material for a successful relationship. All right. So listen, if you are successful in being recognized as a leader, you will not be effective if you come across as a dominant. All right. You got to be in control, but not controlling. I'm coming to you, Mel Money. What's your thoughts on this one?
yeah, I agree with it, man. I mean, that's more like a dictatorship when you try to control things, and women don't like that. And I usually tell my brothers that your code of conduct acts like a set of rules or protocol by which you regulate your life with in order to become a great leader. And this also keeps, I feel, the emotional aspect under control, which will show your significant other that you have a clear head to diffuse uncomfortable situations and making moves that will not only benefit you but as well as your significant other, because you have a purpose in life. Also, I feel that you have to be comfortable with taking risk, because any decision is better than no decision. And I truly believe that classy women are really attracted to leadership and a certain servant assertiveness, along with confidence, in a loving way, of course. But also, part of a man's DNA of being in control without being controlling pertains to courage. Now, the confidence portion is important because you must also have courage. And I think that a lot of people confuse these two things. So let me break down confidence and courage. Um, in my opinion, confidence is when you believe you can do something based on your past experience. Confidence is basically your brain telling you, listen, I've done this before, so I know I could do it again, right? Now, courage, on the other hand, is taking action even though you don't have that past success. That portion is encouraging you to handle your business in a positive, productive manner. And when a classy woman sees that you make wise decisions on a consistent basis, she will open up to you more, which means that she will be trusting of your leadership capabilities. So all I can say is that as long as you're steering the ship in the right direction, she will always be supportive and have your back.
Confidence and courage, brothers. Make sure you got that out there. I'm coming to my girl Nita. Nita, what's your thoughts on this one? Be in control, but not controlling.
Mhm.
I agree with what Tramel said. We definitely look for a man to be confident, and assertive, but also sure of himself, and not in a disrespectful or dominant way. I've had experiences where I was dating somebody that was controlling, and I feel that that comes from a place of trauma and
Mhm.
fear. And when you're controlling, there's nothing positive that's going to come from it. In fact, in my experience, it was just a continuous conflict, a continuous butting of heads because of the struggle to over my will, just trying to
Mhm.
make decisions for me when I'm perfectly capable of making my own decisions. So when it comes to being in control, I feel like that comes definitely from a more positive place. You're confident, you're sure of yourself, and you're decisive, and you feel good about the decisions that you make.
Absolutely. All right, Marita, What's your thoughts on this one? Be in control but not controlling. This is what we're telling our brothers to do.
Yeah. So I've definitely experienced a situation where I was dating someone who had a very high position. He was in power over a lot of people, and I felt that one of the things was he was very controlling in our relationship, and I thought that he couldn't separate that. But what I learned was he was very insecure in that he thought that I would outshine and outpower him. And now, when you're in a relationship, you're a team. You're supposed to be working on the same page, rooting for one another. I always boosted him and encouraged him, like, you're doing a great job. But he definitely did not want to see me shine because, so everything that I wanted to do, he was like, no, don't do it. Like literally, I was like, he might as well told me to eat the cake anime. Like, that, he might as well. I am not lying to you. And I was just like, and he knew that I was smart. He knew that I was in a lot of other positions that I was leading. But when it came to him and certain things, he literally tried to stagnate and stop me. And I'm like, no. And I just didn't understand it. And until somebody was like, he doesn't want you to be more powerful than him. That's what he was afraid of. And I'm like, we're on two different levels. You know what I mean? Like, you're up here, I'm still down here. But they were like, no, he sees the potential in you and he's afraid. He doesn't want any woman to surpass him. And I'm like, yeah, like you said, Nita, that comes from a place of trauma. And again, you just have to be secure in yourself. One, I love a powerful man. I want you to lead. I want you to take charge in the relationship and run the world and everything else. And I'm going to be supportive as well. But you should also want the woman that you're with to be powerful, smart, making her own decisions. And she can even help you, advise you in certain things. Like, that doesn't mean she's going to try to take over you. Like, no, I respect you as my man and the leader of our household if we're married and in this relationship. But at the same time, like, we should both be powerful people and let's be a power couple together. Let's run this world. Like, that's how I see it. He should really want that for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Mo, you mute. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Aha, there we go.
There you go.
All right, we back in the building, boy. Listen. I want to make a quick comment before we go to break. Based on what Merieta said, one thing, this is for men and women, just make sure you keep this in mind because this is something called a transition. All right, here's the thing. This comes from Judge Lynn Toller. Y'all probably know who she is from divorce court, right? Maybe you read her book or you see her. She's very knowledgeable on relationships. The thing is this. It's a transition you got to make. When you coming from work and you go into your domestic environment, that's two different things, man. Mm-hmm. Don't bring your work power and position into your domestic environment. It's going to screw things up. Keep that in mind. All right, this is DBDS Live. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. Sit tight.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women. If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers Mel and Mo for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
What's up, y'all? Back in the DBDS Live studio with my man Mel Money, Merieta, and Nita. I could bust a rhyme with that one.
Hey.
I could make that rhyme
All day, right?
All right, y'all. Listen, we talking about men who are effective leaders in their relationships, and we just dropped some knowledge on you. If you missed it, it's okay. We're gonna rewind this later on today. Mel Money, any info on Facebook, brother?
Yes, Jess said, hey. Rondell Butler said, good afternoon. Ebony said, hey. Latrice said, hey. Chelsea James said, let's be equally yoked. Okay. That's what's up. My boy Scott said, great afternoon, great people. Also like to give a shout out to David, Kiki West, Letitia, Crystal, Lakia, my girl More Crystal, Avery, Stephanie. Listen, too many names to mention, and we're back in India again. Shout out to my people, Bangalore, India, across
Yo,
sea.
no
Oh,
doubt.
Yeah.
nice.
We going international, boy. What's going on? We got
Hey.
we
Hey.
got problems on the international side, dude. This ain't just a U.S. thing. You know what I mean? All right,
Exactly.
y'all.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, worldwide. All right,
Hmm.
y'all. We're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep it rolling. We're gonna go into our next topic right now. We're gonna talk about this here. It is your duty to become an effective leader. It's your duty to become an effective leader. If you're a brother out there, it's your duty. Let me tell you why. All right, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start it off this way. Then I'm gonna get into my knowledge base out here, and we're gonna talk about that. Check this out. You know, I started the show saying that there's about 16 million black men in the U.S. All right, we we actually have 18 million. All right, but the other 2
Mm.
million, they're in prison. All
Oh,
right,
wow.
and there's several reasons why they're in prison.
Mm.
All right, could be the crooked justice system. It could be that they came from a broken home and they didn't know how to proceed in life and they got themselves in trouble.
Mm.
It could be the unbalanced educational and financial system. Any of those things could have been the reason why these men ended up in jail or in prison or whatever, right? Now, these disadvantages they cripple our men, they cripple our society, and this destroys our social environment. Okay, so this is why it's your duty to become a leader. If you're a man in the free world, there's three reasons why it's your duty to become a leader. One, you owe it to your next generation. Give them a good model to reference. All right. Two, you owe it to yourself. You need to have a purpose. It's your purpose. And three, you owe it to the woman and the family that's going to be counting on you someday. Okay. You got to show up armed. Like I said
Hmm.
before, you got to show up armed, accountable. All right. You got to show up ready to make results and as a model for leadership, armed. Mel Money, what's your thoughts on this one, man? It's your duty to become a leader.
Well, everything you mentioned, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Mo. I mean, to become an effective leader, number one, he should be committed to his principles and live by a strict code of honor, because a man without a code of conduct in place is like a castle without walls, and anyone or anything can corrupt or intrude his mind. Second, he is committed to his purpose in life and he lives to serve the world and to give the very best of himself. I'll say some productive pursuit. And third, he is committed to his relationships. So, in other words, he abides by the golden rule that a man should treat others in the way he would like others to treat him. Now, when a brother has all three of these elements in place, it will attract more classy women because they love a man who places a high value on things like honesty and as well as integrity. And also, high quality woman loves and wants a man that has a high sense of self respect. And I believe it's a man's duty as a leader to continue to evolve every day to become a better version of himself.
Boom. There it is right there. Marita, what's your thoughts on this one? It's a man's duty to become a leader.
I definitely think so because who's going to teach our young boys, our sons, how to be men in general anyway? Who's going to teach our daughters how they should be respected and treated by a man? That
Mm,
starts from young. So that means our men in the households, fathers, need to be leaders right away. Even if you're not a father to someone, you are still a leader to your cousins, your nephews, um, friends in the neighborhood. Like, so you men are held accountable regardless of what your title may be. You may not be a father to somebody or even a brother to someone, but I feel like you should have and take on that role as being a positive role model in your community, period. Because there's a lot of single parent households out here and a lot of single moms. We can't teach our sons how to be good men. We can tell them
mm,
how we think that they should be, but they need to see a positive example from another man. If they're not seeing that, it's like, okay, I hear my mom talking about it, but I need somebody to show me. So it's so imperative that men in general just take on that role of being that positive person in another person's life.
Step up, brothers. Model leadership. Model leadership. Coming to you,
Yes,
Nita.
we
What's your
need it.
thoughts on this one?
mhm.
It's your duty as a man to become a leader.
Yes, I mean, I agree. I think we definitely need more leaders in our community, in our homes. Is one thing I feel that is we're falling short and lacking. And I think that one first step to just becoming a good leader is we all have strengths. Just do a self examination. What are my strengths? Write them down and continue to work on those, because we need that. We need your strengths. The gifts that are in you is there to help other people. In your family, in your community, and in the world, we need you. So I agree with all the comments said, and I just think it's very important and vital, that we have more leaders that step up, especially now and what's happening in the world, in society today. We definitely need strong male leaders to take charge and make a difference in the world.
Absolutely, man. We see a lot of things going on. Based on what Nita said, we see a lot of things going on in the world. A lot of it could have been prevented. We see a lot of our women getting hurt. We see a lot of situations that are preventable. If there was some leadership there to help in those situations. My man Rondell said men should prioritize the positive. Mel Money, what's your thoughts?
Yes, and I agree with that. And just piggybacking off of Merieta stated, one of my favorite movies is Boys in the Hood. And I remember one scene at the beginning where Angela Bassett dropped off Trey to his pops because she said, "I can't raise you to be a man." But this boy had everything with his mom. She was strong, independent, had a great mindset, but dropped that little boy off in the hood with the dad. And the first thing that the boy did, the father was saying like, "Hey, you're going to put your books down. We're going to start working on some chores." He was already guiding him to teach him responsibility. And I'm like,
Right.
wow, I
I
remember that
remember
message
that.
in the movie very well.
Hmm.
I remember
Yeah.
that. I like that movie too.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Classic.
Yeah.
absolutely,
Definitely.
yeah. And
That was
then
one of my favorite scenes, man.
exactly. There was another movie. I forgot the name of it, but in the scene, the man, I guess the man's son was, he turned to the Muslim faith, right? And the father said, "Listen," he said, I don't believe in Christianity. I don't believe in the Muslim faith. I don't believe in none of that. But here's the thing: if that Muslim faith is going to give my son some guidelines to live by, so he can survive, I'm all for it. That's
Wow.
leadership, y'all. That's
Mm.
leadership right
Yes,
Yeah.
there.
yes,
You know what I'm
Yes.
yes.
saying?
Hmm.
Hmm.
All right, y'all. We're gonna keep this running.
Hmm.
We killing it right now, man. I hope y'all been taking notes, man. This is nuts. All right, we're gonna go into our next topic. We are talking about men who are effective leaders in their relationships, and now we want to talk about leaders influence everyone around them. This is important, man, because don't think that there's this responsibility that comes with leadership, man. You know what I mean? So check this out: Malcolm X, MLK, Gandhi, Muhammad Ali,
Mm.
just to name a few of influential leaders. All right, you know their legacy and you know the impact they had on our communities and our society. All right,
Right.
and our culture. So here's the thing: you got to do the same thing for your families. Okay, it's your duty to leave your woman and your family with a long lasting legacy, and they want to remember you as somebody who they looked up to, somebody who helped them
Mm.
get through the difficult hard times. You know what I mean? So you got to model leadership. That's what we're talking about, modern leadership. And so your influence, because you influence other people. So if you model leadership, your influence will teach other people how to be a leader, especially your children. All right, your kids will be prepared. If you model leadership, here's what's gonna happen: your woman will follow you into battle, and your kids will be prepared for battle. Coming
Mm.
to you, Nita. What's your
I
thoughts
love
on this
that.
Wow.
one?
I love
Leaders
that.
influence everyone around them.
That's dope.
They truly do. It's such a powerful thing, to have, and a great responsibility. And I think that great leaders, they lead by example. They don't have to do a lot of talking. We
Mm.
see what they're choosing to do. We see the choices that they make, and what actually is happening through what they're choosing to do. So I think that it's very important that not only just talk about it or talk it, but walk it out,
Mm.
and people will definitely gain respect and look to you just because they see you doing something different, something above and beyond what the norm is.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Yes, absolutely. Marita, what's your thoughts on this one? Leaders influence everyone around them.
Listen, definitely like a good leader too always brings that good energy, even when things are, going haywire. We're in a crazy crisis, a pandemic right now. But you know what? when that leader brings that good energy to you, they make you feel like, you know what, we gonna get through this no matter what.
Right.
And like you can follow a good leader into the fire, and they can make you drink the Kool-Aid. No lie. Like I've been with some men that I just like they were so take charge. They were just like, we got this, and you know what, our family is gonna win, and we're gonna win together. Like, don't ever worry about anything. And I'm like, okay, they were getting me hype, they were getting my son hype. I was like, all right, I'm with you. Like, we're gonna fight together. Like, a good leader is just so, their energy is so contagious that they just make you feel like nothing can stop them or you guys. Like, and I feel like that's what a man should do. He should take charge. He is the head of his household, you know, and he should be a leader. It's almost like a pastor in a church. Look how many people follow a pastor. He's a good example. He's a leader. He should be in his community, right? And he has so many parishioners that are there that follow him, that will pay that church tithe and offering. They will give up anything. That's my pastor. Don't talk about my pastor. Right there. That's good leadership. They trust him. They believe that he is honest, you know. They feel like what he's saying, like he's teaching a good word. And, you know, people followed Jesus back in the day. He was real. He was himself, you know. And I feel like that right there is a good example. Be that person, be that strong person in your own household. You don't have to be the leader in the world, but if you're taking care of your home, it starts right there. Just be the head of your little castle in your own house in Hampton, in New Haven, in Missouri, in Arizona, wherever you are. Run your little ship right there. If you run your little ship and everybody else does their part in their own little castles, their own ships, wherever they're in, then I think that's where we can start right there. And we can be a great example to so many young people. That person in that household may have a 13-year-old son, a 5-year-old son. Guess what? They're learning from you. You build them up and then you send them off into the world. They eventually are now the head of their own household, and then they're building up their own family. And then when they go out into the world, because you don't just keep that in your household, you take that into the workplace. You take that everywhere. A good man, when he's got good values instilled in him, he's going to take that everywhere he goes. It's not just in one aspect of his life, but it's in everything. So, you know, that's it.
Absolutely. Trust,
Yes,
honesty, responsibility, head of household. Mel Money, I'm coming to you, brother. Leaders influence everything around them. Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, I just got flashbacks of Game of Thrones where Merieta was staying in different households and every single one of them was leading their household effectively. I mean, but this is true because when you're around an effective leader, his values and the way he carries himself can become contagious, as Merieta stated. And just to illustrate my perspective in our book, Dear Brothers, Dear Sisters, Listen Up, that we wrote, there was a professor named Dr. Julia Wood, who's a professor of communication, who studied the concept of positive direct definition and negative direct definition. For example, negative direct definition communication in relation to men simply means a brother who is constantly in the company of manipulating people who will encourage and promote self-defeating, unethical behavior, which will subconsciously over time sway that brother in the wrong direction. Because if you logically think about it, a high value man will replace his inner circle with people who will motivate him, teach him things he never knew before he becomes that positive role model. Now, on the opposite side, positive direct definition is a brother who is surrounded by motivated people who will normally encourage and promote successful, proactive behavior. And these particular people can influence and inspire the brother to overcome obstacles, to maintain self-control, and most importantly, I would say to pass on the leadership skills to those who want to be a leader themselves, so that way they can be more contagious to those who are hungry to absorb that knowledge.
Boom.
I like that, Rondell. Look at Rondell's comment.
We're gonna talk about Rondell's comment. Rondell says a good leader is what they do, not what they say they're going to do. Men are responsible for connecting with their household and relating to them in a way that increases their own influence. Whoo! Somebody got some fire emojis? Throw some fire emojis. When you can connect with people, you can form a strong relationship.
That's what's
man,
up.
Rondell in the building, man. Thank you
Man.
for the comment. That
Yeah.
was fire, no doubt.
Hit that on the head.
Whoo! Listen, this is DVDS Live. We'll be back in about 60 seconds. We are talking about men who are effective in their relationships.
If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, Join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers Mel and Mo for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
What up, DBDS family? Back in the building, back in the DBDS live here with my man Mel Money, Merieta, and Nita in the building. And we are having a crazy discussion. We had some fire emojis. Somebody threw up some fire emojis, man. We have some serious responses. All right, we are talking about men who are effective leaders in their relationships, and we are doing it. All right, we're gonna jump right into our next. Wait, before we do it, Mel Money, any inputs on Facebook, brother?
Yeah, shout out to my man Gotham from Bangalore, India. He said, awesome show. Shout out to Pep. Shout out to Celine War, Tania Jones, Darrow, my man John watching the show, Kiana, Harvey, Marsha, Stephanie, Tony Foster, Sophia, Tisha, David Dudley. Listen, the list goes on and on. Thank you so much for tuning in, my peoples.
Wow, man. What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in for DBD's Live, man. Listen, we got some more fire for you. We're going to keep it rolling. Right now, we are talking about men who are effective leaders in their relationships. And the next thing we want to talk about is one thing that's very important that a lot of people miss out. Responsibility comes with leadership. A lot of people don't understand that, man. This responsibility that comes with leadership. So check this out. I don't want to really talk about politics, but for this topic, I got to bring up Donald Trump. All right, I gotta do this. All right,
brother, he may be watching the show, man.
It's all good. He can get some advice. He can get some advice because we're talking about leadership, right? So here's the deal, right? All right, he's currently the leader of the free world, right? And you know, we got this COVID-19 situation, right? And so in one of his daily conferences, he was asked by one of the reporters. He said, "Listen, you take responsibility for not having test kits available, right?" And this was a direct quote from Mr. Trump. He said, "Listen, I don't take responsibility at all. I don't take no responsibility, none at all, right?" So check this out. At that moment, if I was Melania, my legs would have been locked and closed forever. I would have cut that brother off, man. Listen, no woman wants a man who is not responsible and accountable. Okay? You gotta be responsible if you're gonna be a leader. All right? Just remember that, man. Sorry about that, but that's how it's gotta be.
Shots fired.
There's been way more stuff before that comment that she should have.
Right. I had to cue that one up. All right, Merieta, what's your thoughts on this one? You know, responsibility comes with leadership.
I mean, definitely. Where much is given, much is required. If you want to call yourself a leader, why am I calling you a leader? What are you doing that's more than what I'm already doing? You know, I hear so many men say, "I'm the king, I'm the leader, I'm the head, I'm this and that." Okay, that's cool. Like, but you know what? You got to take on way more than what you're doing right now. Because I'm doing the same thing that you're doing. So if you ain't doing more than me, I don't respect you as a leader. Like, then we both leaders. We on the same page. But if you want to be higher and you want to call yourself greater than, that's fine. But yes, there is so much more responsibility with me just even being a single mom at home right now. There's so much responsibility that I have, you know, to raise my son, to make sure that things are taken care of around the house, or they just won't get done. So as a man, as a leader of your business, of your family, whatever it is, yes, you have a lot on your plate, and it may not be easy. Like, things are going to be tough. But, you know, yes, you are definitely on another playing field than the average person.
Absolutely.
Much responsibility.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Matter of fact, you know, you got to be up for the challenge. You want to be a leader, man. Step up to the plate. Mel Money, what's your thoughts on this one? Responsibility comes with leadership.
No, I agree. I mean, this goes back to making wise decisions and also be willing to take a risk. And all it requires is for a brother to make that leap, trusting that his parachute will open. But before he takes that risk, it has to be a calculated risk. And he has to analyze to see if it will benefit himself as well as his significant other, as well as his family. And that's the courage that I mentioned earlier that classy women find very attractive. It also shows that you do take responsibility of your life 100%, because no matter what obstacles in your way, you'll find a way to overcome it. And this is where I tell my fellow brothers to learn to become a masterful decision maker. Because the reality is the best way for a man to develop the three elements of a man that I mentioned earlier is to consciously go about building their character and I would say improving their personality. So in other words, as a man, it's important for a brother to take control of his life, take responsibility for his thoughts and actions, and learn to properly manage his emotions when tough times occur.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nita, what's your thoughts on this one? Responsibility comes with leadership.
Oh man, you brought up Trump, man. That one right there. But no, I agree with a lot that has already been stated. One thing about responsibility, like Merieta says, not always easy, especially when you have to make tough decisions and it's impacting the lives of so many different people. And that decision, if it's not a good decision, it's gonna fall on your shoulders. But I think, people will respect you if you're honest about, hey, I made this mistake. If you take, accountability for it, people will respect that, even if it wasn't a good decision. So I think that it's just important to be honest in your decision making. And of course, we try to make the best decisions possible, but sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes you might fall short. And a good leader, I think, will be honest and say, you know what, I missed the mark, but it's not over. So let's pick up and keep going forward.
Right.
That's what we need.
Absolutely.
Right.
No doubt. Fire right there, y'all. All right, check this out. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to get into our next topic. This is what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to handle it this way. Mel Money, I'm going to have you help me with the definition of the DBDS King Theory philosophy. All right, Mel Money, gonna help with definition, and I guess you can comment on any aspect of it as you want because it's actually 4 things rolled in one. All right, this is DBDS King. Okay, K means keep it cool. Mel Money, talk to us about that one.
Yeah. So keep yourself under control. That's important. So, for example, the more control you exert over yourself, especially in times of conflict, the more attractive and desirable you'll be for the right woman. Absolutely.
I invest in yourself.
Yeah, and that's whether it's going to school, learning a new trade, or reading self-help books, which simply means you continue to sharpen yourself to become a better version of yourself.
And never give up.
Yeah, for example, a lot of cupcake brothers always give up and they never put themselves first. They always put themselves last. So you always have to put your purpose ahead of everything else in life.
And G, get down to business.
Yeah, and this is where a brother must take calculated risk, plan, and execute.
So that is the DBDS King Theory. We're going to talk about that a little bit. If you want to be a leader, you got to be a DBDS King. You got to be a king. And we're going to talk about that. All right, I'm going to come to you, Merieta. We're going to talk about this one, DBDS King Theory.
I like that. What was it? Keep it cool.
Keep it cool.
You got
invest in yourself. Never give up. And get down to business.
Absolutely. Those are all things that make a great leader. But what I want to say, in addition to that, I feel like 95% of the time, a great leader usually has a great team behind them that are pushing them. So we're talking about relationships, right? So usually that team is their family. That's either their significant other that they're with or a best friend, right? And again, we're talking about relationships. So that means you have to have a good partner in your life, whether it's your wife or your girlfriend right now. And women, we have to be an encourager at the same time. So yes, he's the leader, but he always has to have us in his corner pushing him. We cannot be negative Nancy around our leader, our king of our lives. We have to always give him those words. If we're a woman of faith, then we better be praying for our king, our leader daily, because he cannot do this alone. There's always somebody that's advising in the background. Even, unfortunately, Donald Trump got somebody advising him. You know, I don't know what they helping him with, but but listen, he even has somebody in his corner that he may go to. So a lot of times, these men, these leaders, they do have us. Like they might run stuff by, you know, they might run things by us and be like, "Babe, what do you think about this?" And you know, even if it's not always the best thing, we still give our honest thoughts and opinions on it. We are still, even if we don't think it's great, don't shoot them down and make them feel bad about it. Be like, okay, babe, you give your thought about it, and just always be positive, always be uplifting and encouraging. Because you know what? A lot of times when our kings go out in the real world, they face so much crap on a daily trying to provide for us, right? And you know, the last thing that they need to come home to is us, you know, being negative as well. Like I done dealt with this out in the real world. I hear this so many times. And then I got to come home to my wife or my girl, and she's just another thing added to the plate. No, we're supposed to make them feel better about who they are as a man and a king. If we want them to continue to be the leader and provide for us and do all these great things, I feel like it takes us to be supportive. We're playing a supportive role. So
Man,
it's so important.
I'm so relaxed right now. That's awesome. Listen. All right, Nita, I'm gonna come to you. You can talk about whatever you want. We talking a little bit about the DBD's king theory or whatever you want to add to that.
I agree with Merieta. I'm sorry. I agree. I think that we definitely need to be positive. We have to support, you know, our kings, our leaders. We have to always look for ways to affirm them, you know, and help to push them forward. I absolutely love these attributes that you described, though. The keeping it cool, invest in yourself, never give up, get down to business. I think when we think of a king, when we think of a king, this is a great way to look at the attributes that, you know, should be happening, you know, with our men. And one thing that really stood out the most to me, though, was invest in yourself, because I think that doesn't end. Like you have to continuously, until the day we leave this earth, invest in yourself, you know, continue to build, you know, your strengths and continue to work on improving and creating like this better version. So that doesn't stop. And I absolutely love this. I think it's a great list to have and just, you know, check it off, you know, and yeah, I love it. Absolutely.
Man, amazing insight. You know, the thing I want to reiterate it, man, because this is very important. What Nita said. Listen, when you and this don't even mean this is not just related to just leadership. This is your overall existence in a relationship. You gotta continuously perform. It's dynamic, all right? It's not static. When you get in a relationship, you gotta continuously perform, whether you be in the leader, whether you're in a support role, doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, continuous performance. Male Money, DBD is king theory, brother. What's your thoughts?
You know, I just want to say any man who follows the king theory will develop the leadership skills to enhance their life in a productive, positive manner. And as Merieta stated, we're both on the same team. I mean, just to use this as an analogy, you are both on the same damn track team. Like he's on the boys team and she's on the girls team. You guys have the same jersey on, the same school. And it will not make sense for a woman to get upset if you ran the 400-meter race in 49 seconds and he ran the same race in 55 seconds, because collectively you will be judged on how you do as a team. So if you're always competing with each other, even though you're on the same team, you will continue to lose that race every single time. However, if you're on a team where your woman is being nurturing, she's being supportive, you're being a provider, you're being a leader, and she continues to uplift you and inspire you, then you guys will win the race every single time. So that's where it comes to the leadership aspects as far as how your relationship goes when you guys work together as one unit. So that way you guys can go across the finish line every single time.
Yes.
Absolutely. Listen, one thing that I just want to touch upon, you know, it's probably going to be for another show, but I got to touch upon it because Mel Money brought it up. If you are in competition with your woman, man, you really don't understand what it means to be in a relationship. I'm saying, you know,
surprised.
I know.
I already know. So that's going to be another show. We're going to talk about that one.
Yes.
I'm on the sideline with pom-poms cheering you on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, there should be no competition in this situation. That's going to be for another show. We're going to hit that up. All right, y'all. Right now, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do our Jerry Springer moment. That's when we're going to give you our final summary. Sit tight. Be back in about 60 seconds. DBDS Live in the building.
Hey.
If you would like to learn how to establish and maintain long-term meaningful relationships, join DBDS University today. You will learn about interpersonal relationships, first date tips, the relationship zones, emotional intelligence, and more.
Say thank you to my big brothers Mel and Mo for creating the DBDS University with the live, the book, the website. It's helped me so much grow as an individual.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
What up, my people? Back in the building, DBDS Live, here with my man Mel Money, Merieta, and Nita, and we are discussing men who are effective in their role, in their relationships as a leader. All right, now it's that time. We're going to do our final summaries. This is our Jerry Springer moment. We're going to come around. All right, I'm going to you, Merieta. Give me your final thoughts on today's show.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, well, it's definitely been a great topic of conversation. Again, men, if you want that title as leader, make sure you're acting, not just talking about it. Be about it. Women, be supportive. Don't tear your man down. We need great leaders to help us in our households, with our sons, our daughters. They need that positive example in our lives. And I'm all for a man taking charge. I need that strong man. Just take control. I don't want to be the leader all the time. I want you to do it. I want to support. I love a good strong man. It's just, yes. Absolutely. Be the boss. Be the boss.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. We're going to go to you, Nita. What's your thoughts on today's show? Final summary.
My final thoughts, it was so many great things that came out of this show. I mean, it's just packed with so many good bits of information to hold on to. But I think one thing that stood out and I would like to leave the audience with is the confidence and courage, because it takes confidence and courage to step out the box, step out that comfort zone, and become the leader that you are, that's inside of you. So I would say, take the first step. Take one step, and one step will lead to the next step. Just take one step. Man, we need you. We need you to step up, especially now in the days ahead, in the future that we're looking at. We need you to step up, and be a better version of yourself. Not perfect, but just better. So take, that first step into becoming the great leader that, you can definitely be. And we need that.
Wow. Hell money. Final thoughts, brother.
Well, thank you to Nita and Merieta for coming onto the show. Always an honor to have you guys. Greatly appreciate it. And thanks to everyone that was showing me love. I just purchased a home. Me and my wife got a beautiful dream house. So everyone that was showing love on Facebook, it was over 1,000 likes and 500 comments. Listen, I'm truly, truly grateful. So thank you, my peoples. So I'm going to say, if you can't lead yourself, then you simply cannot lead a love and healthy relationship. And the kind of life you lead and the kind of woman you'll attract and keep will depend on who you are as a man. All of your results in life will be based on the 3 elements of a man that I talk about: the King theory, your train of thought, your automatic reactions to situations, and how you deal with conflict in other people, and your circle of friends, who are all linked to your character. Take this knowledge that we discussed with you today so you can become a better leader and the one that you are destined to be.
Absolutely.
Amen.
And listen, I also want to thank Merieta, Nita. You guys were amazing guests. Thank you for coming on our show.
Thank
I mean,
you.
every show I learned
you.
something. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. Listen, every show I learned something, and I just want to leave. I want to leave the audience with this. So here's the thing: anybody can be followed, right? You can follow anybody. Matter of fact, there's a theory I call sheep theory. Sheep theory is this: sheep will follow another sheep even to death. If there's a sheep following one sheep and it jumps off a cliff, the other one's gonna jump off a cliff. Okay, so anybody could follow anybody. All right, but here's what you want to do. You want to be the kind of leader that when people follow you, they follow you with confidence and they trust you. All right, that's what you need. You need that confidence and trust. If they're walking a tightrope, you got to be that safety net below. Don't let them fall. Mel Money, send us off, brother.